Welcome to the first history lesson of this class. Now, all history lessons are going to have a little movie at the beginning that kind of introduce this time period. This one happens to be the 1880s to the 1910s. But since this is your first one, I just wanted to explain a little bit about how to take these lessons. First of all, watch the opening movie, the one you're watching right now, and it's going to give you kind of an introduction to the period and what you should pay attention to and what things might be important, and maybe some hints on what's going to be on the exams and the quizzes. So it's very important to watch that first movie. And then if you look down at the bottom here, I think right underneath right here, there's little buttons that say, they may see things like events, politics, arts and culture, and the last one is, I forgot, politics, economy. Economy is the other one. The button's right down here. Click on each of those buttons and make sure that you take the entire lesson on each of those sections. So make sure that you cover all the sections. Have note paper handy because you're going to want to take notes on the stuff that you learn. And as the video goes on, as the lessons go on, I'll have videos there to kind of explain to you what you should pay attention to and what notes you should have. Now, for this lesson, sorry, I'm thinking for a second, what do I need to make sure that I'm remembering everything to tell you? Oh, after these lessons, there will be a quiz after each lesson. So that's what the notes are for, so you can take the quiz. All quizzes are open note, so you don't have to worry about memorizing anything. In fact, everything for this class is basically open note. But you should have the quizzes are timed, so you don't have forever to take them. So you need to make sure that you have some of the answers on your notes, the things that you learned in your notes, so that you can take those quizzes well. Also, at the end of the quarter, so after you take 2 or 3 of these lessons, there is the essay exam. Now that essay exam is open everything, especially open notes. So you want to have good notes so that you can take these. Those essay exams are open note, and there'll be some questions that you'll need to write about that have to do with the lessons that we've talked about and the issues that have been brought up. So make sure that you have good notes for both the quizzes and the essays. You'll also have some discussion boards where you will share some of your opinions about the things that we're learning in these packets. So this is the first one, Turn of the Century America, 1880 to 1910. This is a very intriguing time period. Let me tell you the things that you should pay attention to through the whole class. There's 3 main themes that I want you to think of for the 20th century. Ooh, 3 main themes. That's a good clue to write something down. Got your paper? 3 main themes. Here we go. Number 1 is economy. How does money work in America in the 20th century? That's very important. It's very important even today. People are trying to figure out how to make money work well in the United States. So make sure that you follow the lessons on economy. You're going to have a big lesson on economics in this packet. Number 2, you're going to pay attention to government answers to problems. How does government fix problems? There's different ways that government can try to fix problems. Some of them may work better in some situations, some may not. So make sure that you pay attention to how government fixes problems. And number 3, big 20th century issue is civil rights. We're talking about rights for different races, especially blacks in this century, as well as for women. Is another important one. So civil rights, those are probably the 3 main themes of this whole class that you're going to take this year. What are they again? Did you get them written down? If not, rewind it a little bit and have me say it again. I won't say it now. Rewind it yourself if you didn't get them written. Pay attention to those themes because you're going to have lots of questions on those themes and lots of essay questions and a lot of opinion questions as we go through on those themes. Now this time period, this is after the Civil War. The Civil War had ended a little while ago, a couple decades ago, and America was coming up on the Industrial Revolution. So science was beginning to help a ton, to help people live better, to help the cities work better. People were living in bigger cities, and so they had to have inventions that helped make living in bigger cities easier. This was a time of great promise. People thought that science and technology was going to fix everything and make everybody richer. It was a time too when the wealthy and big businesses started and people got extremely wealthy. But at the same time there was also extreme poverty and the poor who were working very hard to help make rich people rich. So go through these lessons. You're going to learn about the economy. You're going to learn a little bit about progressivism and how government tries to fix some of the problems of the economy. And you're also going to learn a little bit about the arts and culture at this time that is connected a little bit to civil rights. I'll give you a heads up, I love to do lots of arts and culture for each decade, so we're going to have lots of lessons this year on movies and music from the different time periods, which should be fun, especially if you like 60s music and 50s music when we get there. So get your notebook ready, click on one of the buttons below, and take one of the lessons. Make sure you take all of the lessons in the packet, click on all of the buttons, come back to the beginning when you're done with one, and make sure you take them all and have fun starting this history lesson.